Welcome to another in Learning Tree's video series on Microsoft Business Intelligence. In 2013, Power Query became an integral part of Excel. In 2016, however, it became possible to record and edit VBA macros to automate the Power Query data import process. Recording a VBA macro for Power Query is no different than recording a VBA macro for any other task. We'll click the Developer tab, give the macro a good name, click OK, and then we'll begin to import a text file using Power Query. Since our goal is to explore some of the capabilities of the VBA macro facility, we don't want to do a little more than just import a file. We'd like to make some changes. So we'll grab a file, and then we'll delete from that file some of the columns that we do not want to import into Microsoft Excel. We'll select Edit, go to the Power Query Editor, find the columns that we don't want, highlight them, and remove them exactly as we would in any other Power Query import. This particular file contains many more rows than we can have in an Excel workbook. So when we're finished deleting the columns, we're going to import it into Excel's internal data model, or if you prefer, into Power Pivot. Once we've specified that we would like to bring the data into Excel's internal data model, the only thing that remains is to watch the progress wheel while the data is imported, and then click on the Stop Recording button in the lower left-hand corner of Excel. Now that we've recorded our macro, we just have to go to the Developer tab and open up the Visual Basic Design environment so we can see what the recorder has done for us. We'll go to the Design environment. We'll look for Module 1, and then we'll see our VBA. Once we look at the VBA, we can identify key features of the macro. Most obvious is the file name of the CSV file we imported. It's clear, however, as we try to look for identifiable characteristics of this VBA code, that the formatting has essentially made the code unreadable and unusable. We therefore definitely want to go in and put in some appropriately placed line continuation characters so we can block the VBA code in a more reasonable and readable format. Once we do that, we can see some interesting features in our code. In the connections.add method, there's a brand new OLADB data provider specifically for Power Query. Now in this same section, we also notice it names and refers to the actual query that's defined above. If we look at this query, we see something very interesting. Embedded in a very long Visual Basic string is actual script in the Power Query formula language, more commonly and more informally known as M. In Excel 2016, therefore, Visual Basic for Applications can actually define M script code and perform the appropriate Power Query import. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos and visit blog.learningtree.com for some helpful hints and insights.